A teacher suspended for what? Racist questions on a test. Put it in writing.
I'm going to keep showing these things to the family until we finally get it.
All right, listen up, y'all.
Greetings, everybody. This is another episode of All Things Education Official. I'm your host and educator, DrAbdullah, giving you educational news from a foundational Black American man's perspective. According to the independent article entitled High School Teachers' Bizarre Biology Test Included Racist Questions on Pimp Walk Gene, a California school teacher has been banned from his classroom after giving freshman students a biology final filled with racist and offensive questions that called out individual students by name. Biology instructor Alex Nguyen was placed on administrative leave last month by the Sacramento City Unified School District, according to the district spokesperson Al Goldberg. Nguyen has taught at Luther Burbank High School for the past decade, Goldberg told the Sacramento Bee, which obtained a copy of the exam from shocked parents.
The questions were, so according to the root, is your teacher, Alex Nguyen. Okay, Alex Nguyen teaches at Luther Burbank High School. This is in Sacramento, California. He's now under fire for including what's perceived as inappropriate and racist questions on a biology final exam given last month. So according to the Sacramento Bee, multiple students in the class were identified by first and last name on the test. Nguyen chose to describe the students by their ethnicities and physical appearances. Then he paired them up and asked questions about what traits a possible child of these two students would have. There's more. One of the most shocking questions on the test about how Black people have affected other races with their traits, quote, for some reason, the African-American culture has influenced most of the student body. How? In African Americans, they have a gene for the pimp walk, which is dominant. The question began, what is the result if you cross and then there's a student name, okay, and then dominant Latina, recessive, H-Mong-like, and then another student name? The question stated that the dominant trait was walking with a limp and the recessive trait was normal. Mr. Nguyen also made fun of another student and included their full name in the question. Quote, in high school, there are individuals who are cross-eyed, like, and then provided the name of the student who seems to be cross-eyed. And blank, previously mentioned, which is a dominant trait. Quote, we call those individuals weirdos. So if you cross two weirdos, the two students named again, what are their cross-eyed traits offspring would result? There's more. There's an image, just in case you didn't believe exactly what the student said happened. So the image provides your prerequisite detail.
The test covered human reproduction and the effects of dominant and recessive genes on offspring in students, or in it. Students were provided with examples of situations that could ostensibly occur if various pupils were to reproduce with one another, although Nguyen noted in a bizarre disclaimer that he did not condone young teenagers engaging in sexual activity. In African Americans, they have a gene for the pimp walk, which is dominant, the question goes on. What is the result if you cross, student's name was redacted, homozygous dominant Latina with the homozygous recessive Hmong, like student's name was redacted. The exam had reportedly been taken by students in 3 separate classes and was being administered to a 4th when the school principal intervened about 10 minutes into the 2-hour testing period. When the principal gathered each final from the student's desk and left the room, Nguyen simply projected the same questions onto a screen and told the kids to carry on as normal. Nguyen didn't show up for the last day of school when the grades exams were returned. Given the unusual nature of the question, Goldberg said there were challenges with the grading process. The Bee reported, one honor student received a 0, giving him a D in the class for the semester, for which he will now be attending summer school. Need I say what I always say? Yes, definitely yes. I will say what I always say. We must create fun, and maintain our own institutions in order to eliminate the exposure of this type of anti-Black racism to our children, because it's blatant, exceptionally blatant. What? Are you still stuck on it's not all of them? Are you stuck on, or are you one of those people that believes that, we're all people of color and we need to fight white supremacy together? You haven't figured out that you can be a white supremacist and not be white? You haven't figured that out yet? If you haven't, this is one of the many, many, many examples of how groups align themselves with white supremacy because they love to just subjugate us because it makes them feel superior. They serve as buffer groups for the white dominant society. This member of the Asian community felt comfortable enough to administer this exam. And then, even though it was an obviously anti-Black exam, he felt comfortable to continue it after the principal came and took it from him and the students by projecting it onto a screen. It's time that we accept some facts. And these are the facts. We have no allies. We are all we have. No one's coming to save us. We must save ourselves. I don't spend time hating on other groups, focusing on other groups, thinking about what they're doing. You know why? Because I know that we have a bigger job in front of us, which is to self-sustain, be self-determined. That's the most important thing. I think that that's what we should be focusing on. Don't you? This is Dr. Abdullah with another episode of All Things Education Official. Please subscribe, comment, like, and share. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think about Mr. Wynn and his pimp walk gene theory? That's not a part of CRT, so maybe some of you will like it. Some of you may think that it does exist. I don't know. Give me your comments. Put them in the chat. Let me know. Give me your thinking, be it on this channel, be it on my Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, or TikTok. Once again, you are dismissed.
Yeah! You are all expurgated. You are dismissed.